Shalom Aleichem, Mishpachim. All right, how are you guys doing? I hope everyone's Shabbat was wonderful and a holy Shabbat. We are still in Berachos. We are beginning chapter 2. Chapter 2 with the first two Mishnahs. See what chapter 2 has to say. I will begin. Like the first chapter, this chapter also teaches about the mitzvah of reciting the Shema. If one was reading the Torah when the time for reciting the Shema arrived, and he happened to be reading passages of the Shema at that time, the law is that if he focused his mind, he intended to do the mitzvah of reciting the Shema, he has fulfilled his obligation. But if he did not focus his mind, he has not fulfilled his obligation. It is not enough just to do a mitzvah. One must also intend to fulfill the mitzvah. Therefore, this person's reading of the Torah does not count for him as the mitzvah of reciting the Shema unless he intended it to. Generally, a person may not interrupt his recitation of the Shema in order to talk. In certain circumstances, however, one may greet another person or respond to a greeting. If one is between paragraphs of the Shema or its blessings, he may greet someone out of respect. He may greet a person whom he is obligated to respect, such as his teacher, parent, or someone who has greater knowledge than he, and he may certainly return a greeting out of respect. He may respond to the greeting of such a person. However, if he is in the middle of a paragraph, he may greet someone only out of fear. He may greet a person who might kill him otherwise, and he may certainly return the greeting of such person. But in the middle of a paragraph, one may not greet or return a greeting merely for the sake of respect. These are the words of Rabbi Meir. The next Tana disagrees in part. Rabbi Yehuda says if one is in the middle of a paragraph, he may greet someone only out of fear, as Rabbi Meir holds, but he may not return a greeting even out of respect. If one is between paragraphs, he may greet someone even out of respect, as Rabbi Meir holds, but he may return the greeting of anyone, even a person whom he is not obligated to respect. Mishnah 2. The previous Mishnah taught that certain interruptions are permitted between the paragraphs. The following Mishnah explains what this means. These places are considered between the paragraphs, between the first blessing before the Shema and the second blessing, between the second blessing and the Shema, the first passage of the Shema, which begins with the word Shema, between Shema and Vehaya, Im Shema, the second passage of the Shema, which begins with the words Vehaya Im Shema, between Vehaya Im Shema and Vayomer, the third passage of the Shema, which begins with the word Vayomer, and between Vayomer and Emes, Ve'atziv, the blessing recited after the morning Shema, which begins with the words Emes, Ve'atziv. Each of the blessings in each passage of the Shema is a separate unit, and the gaps between any of these sections is between the paragraphs. The next Tana disagrees on one point. Rabbi Yehuda says, between Vayomer and Emes Ve'yatziv, one may not interrupt at all, because the final words of Vayomer, Ani Hashem Elokechem, must be said together with the word Emes at the beginning of Emes Ve'yatziv. Having listed the three passages of the Shema, the Mishnah explains why they are arranged in this particular order. Rabbi Hoshua ben Korcha said, why does Shema come before Vehaya Im Shema? This order was intended purely to let one first accept upon himself the yoke of God's kingdom by declaring, Hear, O Israel, Hashem is our God, Hashem is one, the first verse of Shema, and then accept upon himself the yoke of the mitzvot by saying, and it will be that if you listen to my commandments, etc. The first verse of Vehaya Im Shema. Only one who views himself as a subject of the king will obey his commandments. And why does Vehaya Im Shema come before Vayomer? Because Vehaya Im Shema applies during the day and during the night. That is, the mitzvah of studying Torah, which is mentioned in Vehaya Im Shema, is obligatory both by day and by night. Whereas Vayomer applies only by day. That is, the mitzvah of tzitzis, which is the main subject of Vayomer, applies only during the day. And I will stop here and I'll pick up Mishnah 3 and 4 tomorrow. All right. Have a wonderful day. Shavua Tov.